I feel like I just ripped out my soul and threw it on the screen. I don't think you ever know that a film is going to be powerful, or you just go in to do the very, very, very best you can do. And I did.
Legendary actress, writer, and producer Dee Wallace joins us today for an epic conversation from The Howling to Cujo, E.T. I've been waiting a long time for this one, guys. Super excited. Let's do it. Miss Dee, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. This is truly an honor, a dream come true. You're a legend. Congrats on all your amazing work, talent, and success.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. Like your t-shirt.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. It was a Christmas present from my daughter for this episode, so I'm ready. My introduction to you, Dee, was a little bit different. I was late to the horror genre as a kid growing up. I was more of an action movie, action hero, kid. I still am. And so my introduction, my first Dee Wallace movie was Best of the Best 3 with Philip Ree, actor, director, and legendary martial artist. And by this time, you had already worked on several classics, and you're a horror icon. Was Best of the Best, was it a shift for you acting-wise at the time?
Well, I think at that time, I wasn't so much a horror icon. And even now, I go back and forth between Hallmark movies and horror. I'm lucky. I didn't get pigeonholed, but Best of the Best 3, I think I was just offered that, if I remember correctly. It's a long time ago, Chris. I've been doing this now for over 50 years. Believe it or not.
That's incredible. Well, if you don't mind me saying, Dee, you look amazing. And throughout your career, you've always looked amazing. It looks like you keep in shape. And the first thing that I noticed in Best of the Best, again, I'm a big action guy. Philip's in phenomenal shape. But when your character is introduced, the first thing I noticed was your calves. I was like, hey, Dee's calves are, they're popping. You definitely had some tone there. I assumed that you were a runner or maybe a tennis player. And then, I didn't see the Howling till later on, but then there's that tennis sequence. And again, you're standing there with the other actress, and no disrespect to her, but your legs were popping out just a little bit more. It looked like you were, you were definitely active.
I've worked out all my life, and I started out as a dancer, honey. I was a professional dancer in New York. I've danced since I was 3 years old.
Hey, you're famous, ain't you?
Sort of.
And when we get off, I'm on my way to work out with my trainer.
Congrats. That's awesome. It's inspiring. I've gone through a bit of a transformation myself where I'm still going through it. And I say this all the time. I truly admire and respect people who have been active and consistent, pretty much their whole life, because I know now that it's a lifestyle. So, congrats, Dee. That's amazing.
It is. It's a way of life for me. Yeah.
There's an opening at the diner.
I ain't flipping no burgers.
Oh, and I need your help. You're part of this family, too.
You call this a family?
Best of the Best 3, this movie is very special to me because movies in general are a way of life for me. Most of my life lessons come from movies. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I never have, never will. I felt that movies were just an awesome way for me to, be in my head, but at the same time, I felt like I kind of got a preview of what I wanted and didn't want in life.
Interesting.
And the scenes that you have with your son Owen, the one specifically where he goes, obviously he's involved with the wrong kind of people. And, when you're telling him, when you're screaming at him at the end saying, hatred's going to get you killed, and the camera's kind of pulling away. It's moments like that, Dee, that just really, they've really impacted me. I was a teenager at the time, so as I'm watching it and watching you perform and the emotion, it's such a beautiful scene. The lesson learned, for me was, as a son, as a future dad, I cannot disappoint my family. I can't disappoint my mom. I have to try to do whatever I can to not screw up. And that's how that's how movies worked for me at the time.
Wow, I love that feedback. When I taught acting later on, I used to tell my students, you can heal more people with a performance than a doctor can in a lifetime.
I love that. And it's true.
It's very true, and that's a beautiful example of it.
So working with Philip as a director, regarding your scenes, Dee, was all of that already on paper, or were you, did it kind of, did it change, throughout the shoot?
Well, I think in any creative endeavor, both sides come together and bring their best creative impulses is the best way I like to explain it. And it's the creative person's challenge to trust those moments. The director that can do that and trust, that's when the true magic happens. And it happens to me with every great director I've worked with. Mr. Spielberg in the dinner table scene, I say, well, why don't you call your father and tell him what happened? And he says, I can't, he's in Mexico with Sally. And I feel all these tears coming up. And Mary says, oh my God, I can't let the kids see me cry. And she gets up and leaves. Dee did not make that decision. Mary made that decision. It was not in the script. And when Stephen came over and asked me, and I explained to him why I left, he took a beat and looked at me and turned around to the crew and said, you've got a half an hour, build me another wall on the kitchen with a sink with running water, so he could take me over there and bring me into that big close-up where I say he hates Mexico. But you see, I had to trust him to follow what Mary wanted to do, which was truthful. And then he trusted Mary to find that moment that was created from that truthfulness. It happened to every frickin' scene on Cujo. For you to try and plan out Cujo, forget it. You're working with a 6-year-old kid and a dog. Whatever happened in the moment was the truth. I know that scene where he kept saying, I want my daddy, and I take him and I go, all right, I'll get your daddy! And the producer came to me the next day and he said, oh, Dee, we watched that scene and it's a really powerful scene, but we're afraid the audience won't like you. Will you please look at it? Because I never look at dailies. And I said, okay. And I said to him, Dan, if you cut that scene, you're crazy. There's not a parent in the world that has not felt that emotion. So they kept it in. God love him. And it was one of the best reviewed scenes in the movie.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad that you brought up Cujo, because that was literally the next movie that I got to see you in. Again, I didn't see a lot of these movies when they were released, especially when it came to horror. But once I was introduced to the genre, I was binging, anything and everything. And everything that I was watching was new and it was fascinating. And when it came to Cujo, performance-wise, I really feel that movie is one or the best horror movie out there, because everyone in that movie was fantastic from beginning to end. It's powerful.
Thank you.
And when you were shooting that, did it feel that way? Did it feel powerful?
I don't think you ever know that a film is going to be powerful or a big hit, or you just go in to do the very, very, very best you can do. And I did. I feel like I just ripped out my soul and threw it on the screen in Cujo. I gave every single solitary thing I had to give. And I'm very, very proud of my work. And I'm telling you, I got up every day and thank God I got that kid for that part. I mean, can you imagine having to walk a child through how to do all that stuff? I mean, he just, like when we got to the part where he had to have a seizure, and I said to him, okay, this is the scene we're going to do now. Are you okay? Do you need help? And he said, oh, that happened to me when I was little. You want to see? And he went right into it. I mean, he was unbelievable, that kid. Emotionally, he knew right where to go. He was just an absolute joy to work with. And we were freezing, by the way, the whole time. It was Northern California in December. So I looked over at him one time and he was like, so I called Lewis over and I said, is there some way we can get a heater in the car for Danny and me? And so they drilled a hole and put a cord through and put a little space heater in the car for us.
Oh, wow. So throughout the film, were they just spraying you down? Because even when there's some scenes where you're in the house and your face is wet.
Yeah, glycerin and spray and all that stuff, yeah.
It's amazing. And it's really hard to have a favorite scene because there's so many. At the beginning of the movie, when Tad is, he's trying to turn off the light and run into bed. I mean, that was definitely me growing up, trying to beat the dark. And then the dinner scene, with you and Vic, the distance in the relationship. I mean, you definitely see it, you feel it. And, even the affair with you and Steve, Mr. Stone. I mean, just all of you were just awesome. And at that time, Dee, I mean, you and Chris were together in real life, right?
Yeah.
And what was the window, more or less? I mean, how much time did you and Danny spend in that car?
I think we were actually in the car for about 3 weeks.
Holy cow. And meeting Cujo for the first time, obviously in the movie, it's very suspenseful, right? He comes out and you're protective of Tad. There's this big dog coming out. But in real life, what was Cujo like?
Oh gosh, the dogs were beautiful. There were 13 dogs that played Cujo, and they were all trained to go after toys. So we had to tie their tails down because they were wagging them all the time.
Really? And why 13? Or was that how many dogs the trainer had?
No, one, you can't overwork an animal. And two, they were all trained to do different tricks. One was a digger, one was a jumper, one was a growler. And that way you didn't overwork them. And me, they overworked. But the dogs got a break. Yeah, they did treat me for exhaustion for 3 weeks afterwards. Blew out my adrenals. I'm still on raw adrenal supplements.
Wow. Okay, so you literally survived. You finished the movie. I mean, do you remember watching it for the first time?
Honestly, after I saw it the first time, it was a cast and crew screening, and I turned to Chris and I said, I am really proud of this film and I am really proud of my work in it. And he called me Pupper. That was his nickname for me. And he said, you should be Pupper. You really knocked it out of the park. And I have to add, Christopher was not one to give compliments like that very often.
That's so awesome. When I found out you two were a couple in real life, it really inspired me because it's one thing to have a passion or a dream, but to be able to share that with someone who understands or may have something similar, I just think that that's beautiful because, again, to be able to share it with them and live it, and to do it together, I mean, it's just, it's very inspiring. Congrats. If it's okay to ask, Dee, what was Chris like off camera?
He was a puppy dog. He was sensitive and sweet and funny. Everybody loved Christopher. Everybody.
When you two met, was it on set or acting related?
We were just soulmates from the time we did Chips together. And as fate had it, we had to ride back to the set together. And he had happened to see me on Lou Grant, where I played the hooker. By the time I got home, he had convinced my answering service to give him my home address, which was a no-no back then. And there were 24 roses waiting for me when I got home. And he called me, go out to dinner with me Friday night. I said, well, I already have plans, but I could go Saturday night. Well, I have my card game Saturday night. Well, call me next week. Maybe we can. That's all right. I'll cancel my game. Saturday night, I'll pick you up at 7. That was it. Every night after that, we got married 6 months later.
Super couple. That sounds like an epic movie right there.
Yep. 18 years. We were together 18 years till he passed. I lost my soulmate the day he left, for sure.
Both of you are so very talented, so very beautiful, and I'm so truly sorry for your loss. Cujo was my introduction to Chris, so seeing y'all together in that movie, and then I see you again in The Howling.
Now, Chris, Dan Blatt, this is a great story. Our producer, Dan Blatt, had called me and he said, after I was hired, he said, well, Dee, we have a really great cast hired for you. We're still looking for the husband. And I said, well, what are you looking for? Well, we want somebody really virile, but with a very kind, soft side. And they went, oh my God, I'm living with him. But right away I thought, don't say that. They'll never hire him if they know you're, like engaged to him. So I thought, I did Chips with this guy, Christopher Smith or Stone, some S word. And so they went out and found him and brought him in on their own. And he got it on his own. And 2 days later, the phone rings and I answer and Dan goes, Dee? And I go, hi, Dan. And he goes, oh, you know that guy that you did Chips with? Well, we found him and we had him in and we really like him and we hired him. I thought I was calling his house. And I went, you are. And there was this long pause and he goes, oh, shit.
That's awesome.
I said, don't worry, Dan. You only have to get one trailer now.
I'm sorry.
The advantage, the benefit to me watching these movies in the order that I did was that I got to appreciate, what y'all were doing, at that time. I really feel that it was magical. The transformation scenes are obviously iconic. They were groundbreaking. What was that like being on set? Seeing all of that happen in real life.
Nothing happened. We didn't have anything when I was looking at it. Joe would say, okay, now he's getting taller. Now his ears are popping out. Whoops, there goes his nose. That's what I was reacting to. And 3 months later, they put it in. For some reason, I had it in my contract that my character would never be shown as a werewolf. I guess it was important back then. I don't know. But Joe called me. I was up doing Cujo. And he said, Dee, everybody that comes to the showings wants to see your care. I said, I really don't care. So sure, go ahead. But can you make her a little more vulnerable? Because she's fought against it so hard. So, Joe and his sense of humor. So Joe and Rob came up with this, what I call my Bambi werewolf.
That's so awesome.
At the end. Which is very funny.
And once you went full wolf, was that like a long process, the makeup and everything?
No, that's all animatronic. Yeah.
Really? And see, Dee, that's what I love about all these movies, the 80s, the 90s. I really feel like it was a magical time. And for you to have been there and now you're here telling me about it, it's even more magical.
Oh, sure. And the more I do movies today, the more I appreciate the movies in the 80s.
Absolutely. Wow, this has been so epic. You've had such an amazing life, career. It's all so inspiring. I do have 2 more questions, if that's okay.
Okay, baby.
Next month, February 2026, marks the 35th anniversary of Popcorn with you and the amazing Jill Sholin. I had Jill on the show a while back. She's just super talented, super sweet. What comes to mind after 35 years?
Oh, I love Jill. We had a good time. And, it was challenging for me because I had just had my baby girl, Gabrielle, and I was still breastfeeding, which is why my hair is dark brown because I couldn't color it. And I remember walking into that movie theater that we shot in Jamaica, man, and all the homeless people, that's where they camped out. And we walked in there the first day. I'm telling you, the smell could have killed you from all the homeless. And I looked at the producers and I said, you guys, you are going to clean this out before we start shooting, right? They said, yeah, Dee, we didn't know it was, so there were some challenges for sure, but we got through it.
Wow. Well, super congrats to everyone involved. I just rewatched the movie the other day, and I'll probably rewatch it again in February. It's always fun. My daughter, she bought me this shirt for this episode, and then she also bought me a Popcorn t-shirt. So I was definitely spoiled this Christmas. And again, I just think that it's all of you were part of such a magical time. And again, to have you here, it's truly an honor. I do have one final question for you, Dee. You've been a part of so many films. You're a legend. You're the ultimate scream queen. When you look back, for people that have a dream, for people that want to get into acting or into the industry, what piece of advice would you give them?
Don't believe all the bullshit everybody tells you. If you want to do it, go to your heart and do it. Everybody told me, don't go to New York. Nobody knows you. You don't know anybody. I went anyway. I trusted myself. I followed my naivete. In less than 7 years, I started ET. Go be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. You don't have to have another accent. You don't have to get a boob job. You don't have to do all those things that they think you have to do. They're looking for you. They're looking for you to be the natural, honest you that you are. Trust that and go do what gives you joy. That's what's going to get it for you.
Miss Dee, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Super congrats on all your incredible work, talent, and success. Happy New Year to you and your family. Go enjoy your workout.
Okay, love ya. Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. There's so many classics out there to rewatch, so start watching. Cujo, The Howling, E.T., Best of the Best 3. Dee is she's truly a legend, and Dee is truly magical. So thank you for watching. Thank you for believing. Happy New Year to all of you and your families, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Cut.